One of our subscribers recently asked, how can I invest $200,000? Now, I'm honored to be asked that, but I know that most of the people watching this are not going to be able to relate to that. So in this video, we're going to talk about how we can invest $1,000 and apply the same principles that we could have used for that question, for that gentleman that wants to invest the $200,000. Now, some of these things are pretty basic, but some of the things I'm going to talk about today are kind of real head scratchers for you. It's really going to make you think, wow, I didn't know I could do that. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and talk about these things we could do. I'm going to talk to you about 5 different things. I'm going to start off with the first one. The first one that I want to talk to you about, which a lot of people know about, but they kind of don't know at the same time, is going to be everyone's favorite stocks. All right, we're talking about stocks. Now, I'm not talking about get-rich-quick stocks, and obviously, anyway, we know we could do that. We know we could go out there and buy some penny stocks and hope they go up in value, buy some AMC stock, buy some GameStop stock, all of this stuff that's been floating around in the media. We could do that, but guys, that's more like gambling. What I'm going to tell you right now that you could do with stocks is something that's going to be very boring, but it's going to be something that's going to preserve your wealth and be more of a guarantee to grow it than it would be a gamble to kind of double it in a few days. And the 2 of the things I'm going to talk to you about today. Number 1 would be investing it into an index fund. An index fund is very easy to do. Vanguard probably offers the most popular one. This video, I'm not going to get into many details about each one because this would be an hour-long video, but I'm going to tell you right now that investing in stocks could be very easy if you just go with the route of going with an index fund, which is basically a basket of the best companies, well, all of the companies in the S&P 500. That's probably the one I would recommend most, and that's the one that I would do if I didn't know anything about stocks. To be very, very safe, I would probably just do that. Yes, you're not going to get huge returns, but in the last 12 months, we've had about a 20+% return in those index funds, and they're very low cost. So what that means is they're not actively being managed, so you're not losing a lot of money to management fees. So definitely take a look at that. Now, the next one on our list today is going to be my personal favorite, which is crypto. Yes, crypto is very, very much a big part of my investment strategy. And the reason why I want to bring it to your attention today is because crypto right now is in its second, how would I say, it's called its second win, or it's in the second wave of this bull market. Right now, we're just starting to make gains and feel like it's coming back. But I feel like the market is going to be in the upswing, most likely into the beginning of 2022. So if you haven't purchased any, or if you have purchased and you feel like you're down right now, well, this is your opportunity to do some DCA, dollar cost averaging. Now, crypto is a lot more exciting for those of you guys who like to get your thrills by getting sometimes creamed and sometimes making a ton of money. Crypto offers that because sometimes in a day's span, guys, some of the major investments, some of the major coins here, they can move 10, 20, 30%. It's pretty wild. They can go in either direction, though, so that's the tricky part. So we do think that crypto has a very much, it's still very early. It's almost kind of like the .com era when everything was on the upswing. And right now, I think there's a lot of potential to make probably 1 to 2 times your money in the next few months. Now, there will be a time, guys, in which the market for crypto is going to take a bear market. It's going to go in the downturn. It's going to be what's called a bear market, and it could possibly drop 80%, maybe even more. But I would not be buying those meme coins, or I would not be buying projects that have no merit or no use case whatsoever. I'm telling you right now, as tempting as that may look to make those 100x returns, 200x returns that you hear about, and I'm not talking about percent, I'm talking about X, guys, those huge returns. A lot of times, those things never pan out well. They never pan out good for you. What I would really kind of do, which I do, is I take a look at the biggest projects out there, the most established ones with the biggest base and the most liquidity. Liquidity means that you can actually cash out and take the money off the table when you need to. I would look at those projects, guys. And if you don't know of any better ones, just stick to the basics. Just stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum, because those are the 2 right now that are juggernauts that are most likely not going to be going anywhere. With this investment here, guys, you can probably do very well coming up into the next few months. But most of you guys already know that. But number 3, the third one I want to talk to you about, is a little bit outside the realm of what you probably are thinking about with $1,000. And this one is real estate. And you're asking yourself, what kind of real estate can I buy with $1,000? Am I going to go and buy a doghouse or maybe a used Winnebago and I can park it on an RV or something? Like, what am I going to get with $1,000? Well, I am so glad you asked, because there are tons of gurus out there that will charge you thousands upon thousands of dollars to tell you that you can buy real estate with no money out of pocket. And to an extent, that is true. And I'm going to explain to you how you could do that with $1,000 or maybe even less. Now, real estate, obviously, you guys know it's not going to cost you any less than probably $100,000 to maybe a few $100,000, depending on the area you're going to be looking at and the time of the market. Right now, it's very tough, so let's just be honest. But what you can do with $1,000 is you can do some marketing. You could market yourself as a buyer of real estate. And obviously, we know you don't have the money to buy the property, but what I will tell you is this much. If you create a great campaign, or maybe you just buy business cards, you buy door hangers, and you go to driving for dollars when you drive around, look for old homes or abandoned homes or homes that look like they're in disrepair, or maybe even go to your city hall and find out with the violations list to see who has violations on their home, to see if maybe you can go to those properties because they might be down in their luck. Leave a door hanger, maybe introduce yourself. And then once you lock down a property or have a property under contract that you know has some good possibilities and maybe have some potential equity in it, I am telling you right now that people will be climbing over each other to partner with you. Now, you're not going to hit a home run and you're not going to take the majority split of that project, because you will be new and you'll be bringing something to the table. Because when you have this home or you have this contract, you can do one of two things. You can wholesale the contract over to another investor and maybe make $10,000, $20,000, depending on how much room there is in the deal. Or if you've never done a real estate transaction before, it would be a really good idea to make a partnership with that person and say, look, I don't want you to give me any money up front for this, but I want to be your partner. Let me have a 20%, 25% partnership in it. I'm going to bring a partner up with you, and I just want to learn. I want to see how it is that you do these transactions. I want to see who you use as a contractor. I want to know the steps from A to Z. That could be a very good option for some of you. And others, obviously, they've already done it many times, and you can obviously just go and wholesale the property. That's fine, depending on your appetite. There is no right or wrong way to make money, guys. The only way that I suggest that you don't make money is when you're hustling backwards and you're spending that money on something that has no value whatsoever. But this is a good way for you to kind of use that $1,000 to get yourself in front of more people, advertise yourself, and possibly become a real estate investor at the same time. Now let's talk about number 4, which is something that I have always been a big proponent of. Make sure I'm spelling this right, because it would not make any sense and it would be very funny if I misspelled education, even though that D should be capitalized. But we're not judging here, we're just teaching. So education, guys, $1,000 invested into education, such as maybe a program where you can learn more about advertising, a program when you can learn more about YouTube videos, how to create YouTube content, how to start a business, how to become a successful real estate agent, all of the things that you could possibly be hoping to do with your life. $1,000 invested in yourself, in your skill set, is invaluable, because now you could apply for a different position, you can apply for different jobs, you can start a business, you can do a lot of things once you have that capacity, once you have that information, you become a more valuable person. So even though it may not sound very sexy to invest $1,000 and not see it come back in its same form, which is, in dollars and cents, but you are seeing it come back in your mind. I guess you would say you're so valuable now because you have more knowledge in your head. Believe me, guys, I've spent a lot of money on programs, seminars, education, and even though you don't have to spend a single dime, it's called getting your library card and going to read these books for free, but really nobody likes to do that. So if you want to take a shortcut with the money in hand, take the programs from people who are reputable, because it will give you a shortcut. They will teach you the most important things that you need to know along the way to the path that you want to take, if that person is on the path that you want to go on as well. But now I want to talk to you about number 5. Number 5, guys, is going to be something that you would probably not think you could do. And that's start a business. Think about it. There are so many businesses that you can start with very little money, very little startup capital. For myself, for instance, the biggest return I could have ever made was getting my real estate license, which only cost me a couple $100s. And the same thing goes for your mortgage license, your title license, your insurance license, whatever it is that you want to get licensed in. That could be your new business, and there's a lot of businesses out there you can start with under $1,000. If you want to become a YouTuber, you can just go ahead and invest a couple bucks into a camera, some lights, some audio, all under $1,000. You just got to put in the work. There are so many businesses, and I will leave a link down below of some of the best businesses that you can start right now for under $1,000. Now, putting $1,000 into starting a business is probably going to be the biggest, guys, I'm telling you right now, return on investment, more than crypto, more than real estate, because that is literally infinite. I've heard a lot of stories of people starting with no money. Think about, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak starting in their garage with just an idea of building computers. There's so many stories of people out there that are able to start businesses. And if you already have a business and you feel like, hey, your business is being stagnant right now, $1,000 invested correctly into marketing will take your business to the next level. If you don't know much about advertising, guys, I suggest that you start YouTubing marketing, because there's so much information out there on marketing your business for free, for low cost. And if you don't know this, right now, as a matter of fact, Google is giving everyone, and this is something that you probably never heard before, but Google right now is giving you professionally put together ads for nothing, for free. Usually this service was only for people that had 100,000 plus a budget on a monthly basis. And I just went in and started doing some Google ads recently for real estate locally. And what I found was that I needed a little bit of help. So I called in, and they connected me with someone who said, hey, listen, would you be interested in getting your ads professionally done, or with copyright, which is basically the text and everything that has already been tested that we normally only do for high-end clients? Would you be interested in it? And I was in the mood for saying yes, because I had just taught a class on how saying yes to people and saying yes is actually giving you more opportunities in life. I said, today is my opportunity to put that to the test. I said to the gentleman, yes, I would be. How much would that be? And he said, nothing, it's free, it's complimentary. And most people don't know that. Google is giving you this. Facebook has a Facebook masterclass that you can take for free to learn how to market. There are so many things out there that you can do right now under $1,000 or even for free that can really propel you and your business and your future to the next level. Now, one of the things that I mentioned earlier in this video is that you can create YouTube content for under $1,000. And we did just that to promote our business. And if you guys want to see some of our early stuff that most people on this channel have never seen, go ahead and check out this playlist right here. I think you guys will like it. Let me know what you think. I'll see you over there in just a few seconds. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I will see you next time.